Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me well. Uh, Welcome to day 3 of the summer study, and I'm really looking forward to this day. It's going to be yet another exciting day. Today we have the panel leader of panel 4 with us. Yeah, that's 4. Jessica Richter from University of Lund, and she will tell us a bit, and the rest of you about what will we can expect from this panel, and maybe you have some, comments or highlights from the first 2 days that you want to share as well. So then I I don't know if you have. Will you speak only about panel 4, or should I mention anything about the other panels? Yesterday we had one of the panel leaders who gave things he was interested in the other panels as well. So can we expect anything from you apart from panel 4? No, okay, great. So actually, in panel 4, then we have nothing from panel 9 today. Then we have from panel 1, we have one session from each of the other panels today, apart from panel 7. But from panel 1, we have a session on new approaches from the ground. Yesterday was on sufficiency. Today it's about citizen engagement. So I think that'll be really interesting. On panel 2, about policy innovations, there we have emerging investment opportunities for energy efficiency. So that's a very kind of timely topic and very interesting and important topic. So for those of you who are really into looking for what can be done for investments, you'll find it there this morning. No, it's 12:30, just after lunch in European time. We have also the policy, finance, and governance panel. Uh, it's about uh, all of us and local action users driving the change. In panel 4, Jessica will tell a little bit more about this in depth. So let's hand that over to Jessica. In panel 5, we had what's the contribution of buildings for sustainable cities. That's another one that has a local implication. That's really interesting as well, I think, because buildings is an important thing in local sustainability. Today we'll be looking into in the transport panel. There will be a focus on electrification of the vehicle fleet, so different aspects of that. I think that's really interesting as well. Panel 7, the building policies and program panel. We have again at 10:30 a panel on finance and investment for energy efficiency in buildings, and at 12:30 CET there will be one on delivery models on the various kind of program approaches. Finally, for panel 8, we have how to accelerate the route to climate neutral building stock. And that's also, I think, an important aspect, as again, I want to underline this, buildings is really one of the big sectors for getting, our climate crisis right. We have informal sessions in the afternoon. We have one that's scheduled with a topic, and it's about energy and comfort indicators. That's hosted by the Africa Europe Bioclimatic Buildings Project. And that's, I think, going to be a really interesting thing. It really looks at, let's say, different approaches and different concepts of how we define comfort instead of just setting air conditioning, for instance. So I think it's a very, very important project, and they'll offer an informal session with also some presentations on the project, but also a lot of the participants from various African countries will join that session. So that will be great, I think. There's also just a scheduled hangout session for those of you who just want to discuss any given topic. We'll keep that open for you this afternoon. So I think I'm done for what will come now, and I'd really like to hear from Jessica what will be happening from the panel 4, and maybe if you have any interesting highlights from the other panels as well. Please, Jessica.
Yep, thanks. Yeah, I think it's been very interesting so far with the sessions that I've been attending, also the sessions that I've been sharing with panel 4. I say today, remarking on the different topics that are coming up, what you've just gone through, Neil. So I think the transport, also the electrification, we heard from our plenary speaker on day one, how important that is, number one, and number two, decreasing the transport that we're doing. So I think that will be a big part of it. Buildings also coming up, and that's been a reoccurring theme. Even in panel 4, our first session was on renovating buildings. So we looked at measuring the impacts of the renovation and evaluating the impacts of renovation on day 1. Yesterday, we had a very interesting session on the social equity and gender aspects. And how we are measuring and considering those. Different frameworks were presented and different evaluations were presented, and we had a nice lively discussion. And today we're going into another interesting aspect of energy efficiency, basically non-energy efficiency benefits. So besides energy efficiency, what other benefits, what multiple benefits come from energy efficiency projects? So those of us working here in energy efficiency and at eceee know why energy efficiency is important, and it's a priority for us, but not always a priority for other stakeholders that we're working with or policymakers. So it's really important that we're also communicating and knowing about how we're measuring co-benefits. So that's what panel 4 session, one of the last parallel sessions today, will be about. And we're going to have different speakers with different aspects of looking at the co-benefits. So we will have a presentation on context, comparing the European Union member states and South Asian countries and what different impacts are measured there for the non-energy impacts and the multiple impacts. They will present a meta-analysis and exploring the different motivations behind implementation of energy efficiency in these two parts of the world. So a nice comparison here, EU and South Asian countries. We will also have Jens Christoffersen and Sune Grølev presenting their study that looked at the impacts of indoor environment in European homes and schools on child health. And they really looked at assessing the prevalence of non-optimal indoor climate and the health status of affected children, and measuring then the educational burden and the economic benefits associated with reduction in children's exposure to poor indoor climate. Again, multiple benefits there from energy efficiency and renovation projects. Catherine Cormans will present the results from an H2020 project about multiple benefits. And in that project, they developed a toolbox to identify, assess, and communicate non-energy benefits. And she will be presenting about the toolkit, which might be useful for many of us here, but also the results of a pilot where they ran 5 pilot projects in Switzerland testing the toolkit. So it's already been tested, and we can get also our a discussion around how we see that toolkit. And lastly, Lisa Skomats will be presenting new work in non-energy benefits and be looking at the benefits of energy efficiency programs to provide what they provide benefits to disadvantaged households. So the program implications, they will be looking at the policy applications and questions related to methods. So looking at what lessons can be learned about how well studies of non-energy benefits are conducted, and are they following best practices or are they falling short? So it's guaranteed to be a very interesting discussion in panel 4 this afternoon, and I hope to see everyone there.
Thanks a lot, Jessica. So I think I'll just hand over to, well, just say eceee was part of the multiple benefits project, so it's a really fun and interesting project. Okay, Joanne.
Thanks, Niels. Thanks, Jessica. Some really interesting things there. One of the things that I'm loving actually about the online environment is there are so many papers that I want to go and see, and you can't do them all at once, but you can go back later and look at them, and it's like, yay, I'm going to be able to listen to everything I want to listen to eventually. Just a couple of updates from Graffiti for you. Please carry on adding the haikus and other poems. There's some good ones coming in there. Get into that shared workspace and give us your poetry thoughts, please. We've got some lovely photos people are posting of previous eceees, as well as the things that I asked you to do. So I've got a new topic for you this morning. I want as many T-shirts from previous eceee conferences as possible. It can be a photo you took there, it can be a photo you took later wearing it. Let's see if we can get the full set before the end of the week, a photo of somebody wearing each one of the old eceee T-shirts.
Joanne, Klaus, our designer, is actually told me he's going to work on his house all day doing carpentry work, and he just told me which of the eceee T-shirts he's using today, so I'll try to catch a picture of him, have him catch one.
Brilliant. So let's see if collectively we can manage this. And then I just want to give you a heads up for the 12:30, at the start of the 12:30 session this afternoon, I'm going to launch a poll. One of the things we've been chatting about in the board is how do we best communicate that we are just not going to get decarbonisation without efficiency. So what I want in 100 characters or less is a really good phrase that tells that story. So look out for the poll when you join the 12:30 sessions and give us some good phrases that really communicate that for us. Okay.
The shorter the better. The shorter the better. Really
shorter the better.
catchy.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. 2-3 words. But let's go for it. Okay, I think that's it from me.
Right. So unless Abena, you have anything to say from the technical team, then I think we are done for today, right? Or with the morning session, I mean, start them otherwise.
The day has only just begun.
Yeah. So
Yep.
see you all in 20 minutes, a little less than 20 minutes on
Okay.
different sessions. Okay.
See you later, everybody.
Cheers. Bye.